So I recently got asked how the Novo Miris J compares to the Gibson 335. And I've had these guitars for probably like 2 or 3 years at this point, and I've actually never sat down and done a comparison of the two to figure out whether this thing is actually a potential replacement for the 335. Now, you might be looking at them and being like, man, these are totally different guitars, but they actually do have some similarities. They're both semi-hollow guitars. This thing has P90s, this thing has PAFs, but I think that they can actually cover pretty similar territory. So let me show you what I mean. So let's talk specs on the Novo. It's got a center block running down through the middle, 2 Lawler P90s, 3-way toggle, volume, tone, and then it's got the mastery trem with kind of this like lightning bolt arm, which is what Novo calls it. Bolt-on neck, 25.5-inch scale length, and man, like this thing is an unbelievable guitar. Super comfortable, super resonant. Let's see if you can like kind of pick it up on the mic here. Like when I play it acoustically, it just feels like super open. The chords ring out super well. And this mastery trem feels unreal. Like this is probably my favorite tremolo on any guitar that I've got. And then as far as the Gibson, I think these are 2 Gibson Classic 57 pickups, so like PAF, standard Gibson wiring. If I played acoustically, I think you'll probably hear a bit of a difference, so. Like when I play this thing compared to the Novo, I think the Novo just has a lot more kind of like brightness, a little bit more of an open sound. Whereas I think the 335 is a little bit more mid-rangey, even acoustically. And it's got like a more focused sound, which I think in the tracks that you've probably heard, it just kind of fits. So this is something that like when I'm playing in the studio or just practicing at home, it works super well because I think it just fits into the tracks super easily. So let's talk about like pros and cons here. I think that what the Novo has that is really unique that the 335 doesn't have, first off, is going to be the tremolo. Like this Mastery tremolo feels unreal. It's like butter. It stays in tune perfectly. And I play a lot where I'll just kind of give a little bit of like vibrato to chords. So if I'm like playing here, it's perfect. It stays in tune. Fantastic. Like I literally cannot ask more of this guitar. I think it's amazing. And I mean, whether you like it or not, it's a pretty radical design, and I think it looks pretty good on stage or wherever you're playing it. So, I mean, that's like a plus too. What I really like about the 335 is actually the controls. So I really like the ability to, in the middle position, to be able to roll off some of the neck pickup, because I think it just gives you a little bit more chime than you can ordinarily get. You know, on the Novo, where your middle position is going to have a lot more low end. So I think the ability to kind of roll down some of the neck pickup when you're in the middle position just gives you a ton of flexibility that I think is super cool with this thing. So I noticed that when I'm tracking with this guitar, I don't have to roll off as much of the boomy low end because I feel like it does a really good job of sitting in the mid range like super well. So that's kind of my take on this thing. So going back to the original question, does this thing actually replace a 335? The short answer for me is going to be no. I think they're two amazing guitars. They both do their respective things, their sounds extraordinarily well, but I don't think that I could actually sell the 335 and just stick with this. If I had to downsize and I had to pick one of the two, I think I would probably lean towards the Miris just because it's a little bit more practical for my purposes. But I think that they're two complementary guitars, and I think that if you like both of the sounds and you can swing it, I think they're two amazing guitars to have in your arsenal. Let me know what you think. Which one of these two guitars would you choose, and what works best for your purposes?